Welcome to my channel, HD Rare Coins 111. In this video I tell you about the United States of America Kennedy half dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is a fascinating piece of American history that is much more than just a coin. Released as part of the U.S. Mint's bicentennial celebration, this coin marks 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. But it's not just the occasion that makes this half dollar special. There are several factors, from its unique design to rare variations, that make this coin highly sought after by collectors today. The 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar stands out for its connection to a pivotal moment in the nation's history, and the changes it underwent during its production. The Kennedy half dollar itself has an iconic design that's instantly recognizable to many. Featuring the profile of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, this coin was introduced in 1964 after Kennedy's tragic assassination. The design was meant to honor the memory of the fallen president, and it replaced the Franklin half dollar, which had been in circulation for years. However, in 1976, to commemorate the bicentennial of the United States, a special version of the Kennedy half dollar was minted. This version had a distinct reverse design, replacing the usual heraldic eagle with a bold depiction of the Liberty Bell and the moon in the background, a nod to both America's past and its present at the time of the bicentennial celebrations. The coin, struck in both copper-nickel-clad and 40% silver versions, became one of the most popular commemorative coins ever produced by the U.S. Mint. While millions of these coins were produced, it's the special variations of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar that make it stand out as more than just a collector's piece. In fact, there are certain key factors that can greatly increase the coin's value beyond its face value. One of the most important factors when determining the worth of a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is its condition. Much like other coins, the value of this half dollar skyrockets when it's in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most coins that were released in circulation during the bicentennial were used in everyday transactions and over time became worn down and damaged. However, finding one of these coins in excellent condition, without any scratches, discoloration, or dents, could mean a significant increase in its value. Uncirculated coins are considered highly valuable by collectors, and they can fetch far more than their original face value, even if they were minted in large numbers. Beyond just the condition, the composition of the coin is another key aspect that collectors pay close attention to. While most 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollars were struck in copper-nickel clad, some were minted in 40% silver, which adds another layer of rarity and value. The silver version of the coin was produced in limited quantities compared to the copper-nickel clad version, making it more sought after by collectors, especially those who specialize in silver coins. The value of a 40% silver Kennedy half dollar will typically be higher than that of its copper-nickel counterpart, simply because of the precious metal content and the relative scarcity of these silver coins. Another critical factor that can increase the value of a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar is the presence of minting errors. Although the U.S. Mint strives for perfection, mistakes do happen. Some 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollars were struck with minting errors, such as double dies, misalignments, and off-center strikes. These errors are extremely rare, and collectors actively search for coins with noticeable minting flaws because they are considered highly collectible and often more valuable than perfectly struck examples. If you happen to find a Kennedy half dollar with a minting error, it could significantly increase its worth, especially if the error is well-defined and noticeable. Another aspect that can make the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half dollar more valuable is the presence of certain die varieties. Throughout the minting process, the U.S. Mint uses dies to stamp the design onto the coin. Sometimes, these dies can experience wear and tear, or slight variations can occur during production. These die varieties can result in subtle differences in the design, such as changes in the positioning of the date, or slight alterations to the Liberty Bell and moon design on the reverse. These variations may be difficult for the casual observer to notice, but to a trained eye, these subtle changes can be highly significant and valuable. So, what kind of price could a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar fetch in the marketplace? While the majority of these coins are worth just their face value or slightly more, particularly rare and well-preserved examples can command a much higher price. A 40% silver version in uncirculated condition, or one that features a rare minting error or die variety, could easily fetch a substantial amount at auction or from a private buyer. In fact, one of these coins, especially in pristine condition or with a significant minting error, could potentially be worth as much as $85,000 in words. Yes, that's right. $85,000 for a coin that was originally produced to commemorate the United States bicentennial. It's a remarkable example of how rare and well-preserved coins can increase in value over time. So, the next time you come across a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar in your spare change or while going through a collection of old coins, don't overlook it. While most of these coins won't make you rich, there's always the possibility of finding a rare or error-struck example that could make you a lot of money. Whether it's an uncirculated coin, a 40% silver version, or one with a minting error, this coin has the potential to be worth far more than its face value. In the world of coin collecting, the Kennedy half-dollar from 1776 to 1976 is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. So, next time you encounter a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, take a moment to inspect it closely. It could be more than just a piece of history. It could be worth $85,000. Top 2. The 1971 Lincoln Kennedy half-dollar is one of those hidden treasures in the world of coin collecting, a coin that might seem like just another piece of American currency, but in reality, holds a fascinating story and some serious value for the right collector. At first glance, the 1971 half-dollar might not look like anything particularly special. After all, it's just one in a series of coins that were minted during a period of U.S. history that spans several decades. But don't be so quick to dismiss this coin. It's more than just a face value half-dollar. For serious numismatists, it's a piece of history and a potential gold mine, depending on its condition, rarity, and unique characteristics. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964, just a few months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The coin was designed to honor his memory, with the obverse featuring a portrait of Kennedy created by the sculptor Gilroy Roberts. The reverse of the coin originally depicted a heraldic eagle, a symbol of strength and power. However, by the time the 1971 version came around, the design remained largely the same, but the circumstances surrounding the production of this coin gave it a special place in the hearts of collectors. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was part of a massive production effort that took place during a time when the U.S. Mint was trying to deal with the rising costs of minting coins and the demand for silver. In fact, in 1971, the United States officially stopped minting half-dollars from 90% pure silver and began producing them from a copper-nickel-clad composition. The change in metal content resulted in a shift in the market for half-dollars. While the copper-nickel-clad version of the coin was designed to be more cost-effective, it also meant that many of these coins were produced in much larger quantities than previous versions, leading to the question of whether they would hold any value at all in the future. That brings us to one of the most important aspects of coin collecting: rarity. In 1971, millions of Kennedy half-dollars were struck, which means that the coin isn't particularly rare in the grand scheme of things. However, it's not the sheer number of these coins that makes them interesting. Rather, it's the small group of 1971 half-dollars that are in pristine, uncirculated condition or contain certain rare minting errors that could be worth serious money. As with most coins, condition is a huge factor in determining a coin's value. Most of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollars you'll find are likely to be well-worn, with scratches, discoloration, or general signs of circulation. But if you find one that's in mint condition, it's worth more than just face value. Uncirculated coins are those that have never been used in commerce and retain their original shine, detail, and sharpness. These are the coins that collectors prize the most because they offer a glimpse into the minting process as it was intended, with little or no wear. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar was produced in large numbers, but finding one that is in flawless, uncirculated condition is much rarer. This makes it far more valuable to collectors who are willing to pay a premium for well-preserved coins. If you happen to find a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar that looks as though it was freshly minted, it could fetch a price much higher than its $1 face value. Another factor that can make the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar more valuable is the presence of minting errors. These types of mistakes, though rare, can add significant value to a coin. The U.S. Mint is known for its high-quality production, but mistakes do happen from time to time. In 1971, there were a few coins that were struck with interesting errors. For example, some coins were struck with a double die, meaning the design was stamped twice, creating a blurry or doubled effect. Other coins were misaligned during the minting process, which led to parts of the design being off-center. These minting errors are highly prized by collectors because they are one-of-a-kind mistakes, and owning one can make a collection feel truly unique. Another notable characteristic of the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is its composition. While the coin was struck in copper-nickel clad, some variations of this coin are more valuable because of their specific metal content. The 40% silver versions of the Kennedy half-dollar, minted for only a brief period between 1965 and 1970, are much rarer and more valuable to collectors than the more common copper-nickel variety. While the 1971 half-dollar was made from copper-nickel, some of the coins that were part of this era may have slight variations in their composition that could affect their value. As collectors look for these variations, it's important to inspect the coins closely and look for any slight differences in weight or composition. So, how much can a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar be worth? While most coins from this year are worth their face value or slightly more, if you happen to find one in near-perfect or uncirculated condition, or better yet, one that has a significant minting error, you could be sitting on a coin that's worth a lot more than just 50 cents. Coins with notable errors, such as double dies or off-center strikes, have been known to fetch significant amounts at auction. Some collectors have even paid tens of thousands of dollars for a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar with these rare attributes. The highest quality examples of these coins, in uncirculated condition or with rare minting flaws, have been known to be worth as much as $96,000 in words. Yes, that's right, $96,000 for a single coin that, at first glance, might just seem like any other half-dollar. The 1971 Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how, in the world of coin collecting, the value of a coin isn't always about how many were made or when they were produced. It's about rarity, condition, and the presence of certain unique characteristics that make a coin stand out from the rest. So, the next time you come across a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar in your change or in an old collection, take the time to examine it closely. You never know. It could be worth a whole lot more than 50 cents, and you might just find yourself holding onto a coin that could fetch $96,000. Top 3. When you think of iconic U.S. coins, you might immediately picture the shiny Lincoln pennies, the revered Kennedy half-dollar, or even the classic quarters that have been circulating for decades. However, what if I told you there's a specific coin, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, that holds a special place in the world of numismatics? Though it might seem like just another coin from the 1980s, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar has intriguing features that make it a hidden gem for coin collectors. The Kennedy half-dollar, first minted in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy, has remained a staple in U.S. coinage ever since. The original design, featuring the profile of JFK on the obverse and the heraldic eagle on the reverse, has been largely unchanged since its debut, making it one of the most recognizable coins in the world. The coin has seen numerous transitions over the years, from being struck with 90% silver to the more recent copper-nickel clad composition, which started in 1971. The 1981 version of the Kennedy half-dollar continued the copper-nickel clad tradition, but there are more details beneath the surface that make this coin stand out. First, let's take a step back and look at the historical context. The 1980s were a time of transition in the U.S. Mint. The country was facing economic challenges, and the rising costs of minting coins made it more difficult to produce silver coins. The U.S. Mint had shifted from silver to a more cost-effective copper-nickel alloy, which is what you'll find in most coins from this era. Though the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar was not produced in silver, its place in history as a part of the ongoing series of half-dollars makes it an interesting piece for collectors. Now, you may be wondering why the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar is so valuable. The simple truth is that while most coins from this period aren't worth more than their face value, there are some rare exceptions. One of the key factors that influence a coin's value is its condition. Most half-dollars from this year saw heavy circulation and, over time, became worn, scratched, and damaged. The key to finding a valuable 1981 Kennedy half-dollar lies in locating one that is in pristine, uncirculated condition. A coin that has been kept in perfect condition, free from any visible wear or discoloration, is highly prized by collectors. In the world of numismatics, an uncirculated coin is a rare find. These coins are in the same condition as the day they were minted, with sharp, well-defined features and no signs of handling. For collectors, uncirculated coins hold immense value because they represent the coin at its most perfect state. The 1981 Kennedy half-dollar may not seem like a rare coin on its own, but if you're lucky enough to come across one that has been preserved in mint condition, its worth can exceed that of a typical half-dollar. Uncirculated coins are often sold for much higher prices than those that have been worn down by years of circulation. Another aspect that can significantly raise the value of a coin is the presence of minting errors. As with many coins, errors do occur during the minting process. These errors can range from minor misalignments to more significant mistakes like double strikes, off-center strikes, or even blank planchets. The 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, like many other coins, was produced in high quantities, but certain era coins from this year have become highly collectible. A coin with a double die, where the design is stamped twice, could be worth significantly more than a regular, uncirculated example. Other minting mistakes, such as coins with off-center strikes or misaligned designs, are highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins. Aside from the condition and the potential for errors, the composition of the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar is another factor that collectors consider when determining its value. As mentioned earlier, the coin is made of copper-nickel clad, a mixture of copper and nickel that replaced the silver used in earlier half-dollars. While this composition is not as rare as the silver versions of the coin, there are subtle variations that can make certain 1981 Kennedy half-dollars stand out. Variations in the die used to strike the coin can lead to differences in the design, and some of these variations are more highly sought after by collectors than others. As for the value of the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar, the vast majority of these coins are worth only their face value of 50 cents. However, there are exceptions. The coins in pristine, uncirculated condition or those with rare minting errors can command significantly higher prices. When a coin is in exceptional condition or features a striking error, collectors are often willing to pay far more than what it originally cost to produce. While the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar might not be the most famous coin in U.S. history, its potential to be worth thousands of dollars makes it an intriguing find for anyone interested in collecting coins. So, how much is a particularly rare or pristine 1981 Kennedy half-dollar worth? Well, depending on the specific characteristics of the coin, it could be worth up to $68,000 in words. Yes, you read that right, $68,000. This value is typically reserved for coins that are either in perfect, uncirculated condition or those with significant minting errors that make them stand out in the world of coin collecting. While finding a coin worth this much may seem like a long shot, it's a reminder of how rare and valuable certain coins can be when they are preserved or minted in special circumstances. In conclusion, the 1981 Kennedy half-dollar might seem like just another coin from a bygone era, but it has the potential to be worth far more than its face value. Whether it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, has a rare minting error, or features a unique die variety, this coin represents an exciting opportunity for collectors to own a piece of U.S. history. So, The next time you come across a 1981 Kennedy half dollar, take a close look at its condition and any potential errors. You might just be holding on to a coin worth far more than 50 cents. Who knows, it could be worth $68,000. Top 4. The world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and one of the most interesting pieces in that world is the 1983 Kennedy half dollar. When most people think of coins that might be worth big money, they tend to focus on rare pennies or highly sought-after silver dollars. But what if I told you that the 1983 Kennedy half dollar, something many would simply toss aside as just another ordinary coin, could be worth a small fortune? This coin, minted in a time of change for U.S. currency, offers a unique story and can command a surprisingly high value in the right conditions. The Kennedy half dollar was first introduced in 1964 following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Its purpose was to honor his legacy, and it quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. The original design featured a profile of Kennedy on the obverse front and a heraldic eagle on the reverse back. For nearly 2 decades, the Kennedy half dollar was composed of 90% silver, making it not only a commemorative coin but a piece of valuable metal. However, due to rising costs of silver and the need for more cost-effective minting practices, the U.S. Mint began producing the coin in a copper-nickel-clad composition starting in 1971. The 1983 Kennedy half dollar was part of this copper-nickel-clad series, which means it was made using an alloy of copper and nickel rather than the silver of earlier years. At first glance, this might not seem like much to get excited about. After all, millions of these coins were minted and circulated, making it easy to dismiss them as simply another coin in your pocket change. But in the world of numismatics, it's often the less obvious coins that turn out to be worth the most. So, what makes the 1983 Kennedy half dollar worth anything at all? The answer lies in a few key factors: condition, rarity, and any special characteristics that make a coin stand out. Let's start with condition. Most Kennedy half dollars, especially from the 1980s, were released into general circulation and saw extensive use. As a result, most of these coins are worn down, scratched, and have lost much of their original shine. But the real value comes from the coins that have been preserved in pristine condition. These coins are known as uncirculated, or mint state, coins. An uncirculated 1983 Kennedy half dollar, meaning it was never used in daily transactions and remains in near perfect condition, can fetch a significant premium. Coins like these are a treasure for collectors because they retain all the fine details, such as sharp features and an even, shiny finish, as they would have appeared the day they were minted. Finding an uncirculated 1983 Kennedy half dollar is not easy. Most of these coins were used for regular transactions and suffered from wear and tear over time. But if you happen to find one in near perfect condition, you're holding on to something rare and valuable. The demand for such pristine coins from this era is higher than you might expect, especially as collectors continue to look for quality specimens to add to their collections. Another key factor that can boost the value of the 1983 Kennedy half dollar is the presence of minting errors. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for coins that were struck incorrectly during the minting process. These errors can range from something as simple as a double strike, where the design is stamped twice on the same coin, to more complex errors like off-center strikes, die cracks, or missing details. For example, a Kennedy half dollar from 1983 that has been double-struck, where the date or Kennedy's profile is visibly repeated, would be considered a major rarity. Such errors are rare and highly prized in the world of coin collecting, and finding one of these error coins could mean a significant increase in value. Another interesting aspect to consider is the overall rarity of coins from this particular year. While the 1983 Kennedy half dollar was minted in large quantities, most of them have been lost to time, either spent, damaged, or simply discarded. But every now and then, a well-preserved or error coin makes its way to the surface, offering collectors a rare opportunity to add a highly sought-after piece to their collection. Coins from certain years, even those that were produced in large numbers, can become valuable over time simply because they are no longer in circulation or they are extremely difficult to find in excellent condition. Now, let's talk about the potential worth of the 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. As with most coins, the value can vary significantly based on the coin's condition, any unique characteristics it might have, and the current demand in the coin market. For a typical 1983 Kennedy half-dollar in good condition, you're looking at a coin worth no more than face value, 50 cents. But for coins that are uncirculated, in perfect condition, or those with minting errors, the price tag jumps substantially. Some of these rare 1983 Kennedy half-dollars can easily sell for thousands of dollars at auction. In fact, one could fetch up to $64,000 in words. That's right, $64,000 for a single 1983 Kennedy half-dollar. If it's in the right condition or has a rare minting error. So, how can you tell if you've got one of these valuable coins in your hands? It's all about inspecting the condition. Look for coins that are bright and shiny, free from scratches or any signs of circulation. Pay attention to the details, the sharpness of the image, the clarity of the date, and the overall luster of the coin. If you notice something unusual, like a double strike or an off-center design, you could have found a coin worth far more than you imagined. The 1983 Kennedy half-dollar is a perfect example of how even coins from more recent decades can become valuable over time. While it may have originally been designed as a commemorative coin to honor President John F. Kennedy, it has since become a sought-after piece in the world of numismatics. With its potential for uncirculated rarity or minting errors, this coin could be more than just a half-dollar. It could be a small fortune waiting to be discovered. So, the next time you come across a 1983 Kennedy half-dollar in your spare change or as part of an old coin collection, take a moment to inspect it closely. It might just be the treasure you're looking for. Who knows? You could be holding a coin worth $64,000. Top 5. In the world of coin collecting, certain years stand out for their unexpected value, and one of those years is 1988. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar, often overlooked by those who think of this coin as just another piece of American currency, actually has the potential to be worth far more than its 50-cent face value. While many of these coins were made in large numbers and circulated widely, there's a hidden potential in certain well-preserved or rare versions of this coin. The Kennedy half-dollar was first introduced in 1964 to honor the memory of President John F. Kennedy, just months after his tragic assassination. The coin's design features a portrait of Kennedy on the obverse, with the reverse originally showing a heraldic eagle, a symbol of strength and unity. Over the years, the design has remained largely unchanged, but the coin itself has gone through some interesting transitions, especially when it comes to its metal composition. From 1964 until 1970, Kennedy half-dollars were minted with 90% silver, making them not only a symbol of patriotism but a valuable piece of precious metal. However, due to rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint switched to a more cost-effective copper-nickel-clad composition starting in 1971, which is what you'll find in the majority of Kennedy half-dollars from the 1980s. The 1988 Kennedy half-dollar is no exception, made from copper-nickel, which means it's not exactly a precious metal coin. But what makes this specific year interesting is the way it was handled by the public and, more importantly, how it has fared in terms of availability and condition over the years. You see, the key to understanding the value of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollar lies in one simple truth: the value of any coin depends heavily on its condition, rarity, and special characteristics. Most of the 1988 Kennedy half-dollars you'll encounter today have likely been used in everyday transactions and are worn, scratched, or even tarnished. These coins are, after all, nearly 40 years old. The typical 1988 half-dollar that has been through the hands of thousands of people is unlikely to fetch anything more than its face value of 50 cents. But that doesn't mean there's no money to be made with these coins. In fact, it's the pristine examples, the ones that have been preserved in excellent condition, that are truly valuable. Uncirculated coins, which have never been in circulation and show no signs of wear, are often worth significantly more than their face value. These coins retain their original shine and fine details, sharp features, no scratches, and clear, distinct engravings. The 1988 Kennedy half dollar in this state is a true gem. With the passage of time, uncirculated examples have become much rarer, and as with most coins, the fewer there are, the more desirable they become. The pristine 1988 Kennedy half dollars that remain untouched by circulation are treasures for serious collectors, and some can command prices far beyond the 50-cent mark. But it's not just about condition. One of the factors that make a 1988 Kennedy half dollar truly valuable is the potential for minting errors. Minting errors are rare occurrences that happen during the production of a coin, and they can dramatically increase the value of a seemingly ordinary coin. These errors can range from slight misalignments to double strikes, where the design appears more than once on the same coin. A Kennedy half dollar with a double-struck image or a misaligned design is far rarer than a regular coin and could fetch thousands of dollars at auction. Errors like this make the 1988 Kennedy half dollar even more intriguing because while there were millions of coins struck in that year, the mistakes are a unique find. It's also worth noting that the 1988 Kennedy half dollar is part of a broader trend in U.S. coinage during the 1980s. The U.S. Mint was still trying to navigate the high cost of minting coins, and fewer half dollars were being used in everyday transactions as the country moved toward more efficient ways to manage coinage. As a result, the 1988 half dollar wasn't as widely circulated as coins from other years, which can add to its rarity, particularly in well-preserved condition. The value of this coin can increase because of this relative scarcity in circulation, and if it's in near-perfect or error-prone condition, it can quickly become a prized possession for collectors. Now, let's talk about how much a well-preserved or rare 1988 Kennedy half dollar can be worth. If you were to find one of these coins that is uncirculated, with sharp details and no signs of wear, you'd already be looking at something worth far more than its 50-cent face value. But if you're fortunate enough to come across a coin with a minting error, or perhaps one that has been preserved in absolutely pristine condition for decades, the value can skyrocket. A high-quality 1988 Kennedy half dollar, whether it's uncirculated or error-struck, can reach prices that are surprising for a coin from such a recent era. So, what's the value of a 1988 Kennedy half dollar in the best possible condition or with a rare minting error? A coin of this caliber could potentially be worth up to $57,000 in words. That's right, $57,000. While it might seem unbelievable, the right combination of condition, rarity, and unique characteristics can turn a seemingly ordinary half dollar into a highly sought-after collector's item. Even if this coin isn't as famous or well-known as others, its potential for value is a reminder that in the world of numismatics, any coin could be a hidden treasure waiting to be discovered. The 1988 Kennedy half dollar may not be as well known as older or silver versions of this coin, but that doesn't mean it's any less valuable. With the right conditions and a bit of luck, this coin could turn into a major payday for the savvy collector. If you happen to come across one of these coins in your change or an old collection, don't just pass it by. Take a closer look, because you could very well be holding on to a coin worth far more than you ever imagined. It could be worth $57,000 or more, depending on what you've got in your hands.